Way. God bless you all the way. Buen camino.
Morning, how are you doing? Thank you very much, Roncesvalles Monastery. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Every day in the Camino begins differently, and although I'm only in day 2, I'm surprised at how many things change from day to day. Yesterday, I stayed in a monastery in Roncesvalles, and as I mentioned beforehand, it's exceptionally lovely place. It's well organised. It has everything you need. You have facilities for washing, you have food, you have decent rooms, and you have decent beds and things like that. But I had a lovely surprise this morning. So although I had planned and paid for the breakfast, it's an additional €6, many people were waking up early to do longer caminos, or obviously they've got to go different plans. And so I changed my plan, knowing that I would skip the breakfast. But the most exciting thing about it was one of the monks who resides in the monastery, wakes everyone up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and he starts singing some very decent sort of monk tunes, and I don't really know what you call it, but obviously it was very pleasant, and you can see in the video here what we got. So it was a lovely offering to wish us the best, obviously saying, enjoy yourself, and yeah, then so it was when I said goodbye to him, I said goodbye to the Roncesvalles monastery itself, and he realised that it was earlier than expected and it was dark. So being part of the dark, you realise that the fact that you must be more cautious, but luckily the Camino from Roncesvalles to Zubiri, which is where I am now at, my third destination, is enlightening at the fact that you've now started something different. So I started just after 6:15 this morning, and with a few stops on the way, I arrived at 12 o'clock. At the moment, the heat is a blistering 35 degrees. Luckily, I escaped most of the walking from it and walked from Roncesvalles to Zubiri. It is a different pace, it's a different altitude, and where Roncesvalles reached 1,400 metres, Zubiri is around about 950 metres high, and you do a few ascents. Some of them were a little bit steep, but they're manageable. But in general, most of the actual walk itself was flat to undulating slightly, in a way that means that you up and down, but there was only a few big climbs, which made it a bit more exciting. Obviously, it labels to speed up things, and it made it a bit more different. The terrain is different from the previous. Majority of yesterday was either on a mountainside or it was a few paths. Today we've encountered paths, we've encountered tracks, we've encountered different types of embedded rock structures, which are a little bit craggy, a little bit different, and a little bit treacherous in a way, but not treacherous enough to be concerned about. And then obviously at the same time there was some paved areas, which in a way what we would call in England crazy paving, and then it was a descent down, it had some things, so it made it a bit more excited today with all of us. Obviously it's about what we could see and things like that. Naturally you could see that how the different terrain of things is changing. We had a few different things. So how did it start? Obviously I missed breakfast, as I mentioned before. The breakfast itself, luckily at the start of the Camino, for the first hour and a half, I say maybe, you do feel that there are some different cafes open, albeit they do not open to approximately 6:45, 7 o'clock. So if you want to start early, be aware of that. But yeah, there was a small pueblos, cities, towns, whichever to call them, which had a few lovely things, and as you imagine, the food itself is cheap. You can get coffee, you get croissants, you get different types of pinchos, local sandwiches, or different types of tortillas, which obviously provide you with protein for the day and make it worthwhile. So where I'm at now, so obviously later on, Beyond all the Pueblos, there was less signage today, I believe. There wasn't as much signage, and there wasn't as much water taps today. So it was mainly the water taps at the beginning and the end. Although one of the pleasant surprises was around about 3.5 kilometers from the end, there was a nice food truck, and the food truck provided soft drinks and even beers if you're interested. So that was a nice pleasant break to top up with water and other things like that. So where I've done today, so let me tell you, obviously today was 21.7 kilometers. Yesterday was 25 kilometers, and we started at 780 kilometers. Yesterday obviously it was 755 kilometers through, and then now obviously we're now at about 730. So I don't think I'll be putting the step count on for a little while, because obviously the daily is around about 30,000 plus, and I'm hoping it will accumulate eventually into around about 1 million steps, which is quite a lot over the potential camino for around about 32 days, which makes a lot, but if I can add that as well. So what am I doing now? Obviously as post the thing, I managed to chat with a few people. I met a man from Spain, I've met a man from Canada, I've met a few people from New Zealand, from Puerto Rico, and we're all getting well together. And we're in the room again. The dorm itself is 10 people per dorm, so it's quite nice. They're spread out, and like most of us now, I think most of us are more likely to be starting early tomorrow, so hopefully we won't impact other people's sleep patterns. But I think, you know, it seems to be fairly similar around the world, where they try to keep you quiet after 10 o'clock, and they try to see if, you know, you're up by 6 or 7ish for breakfast, which is same again. Sadly, I did book this camino. It's called El Payo de Uno. I think I'll have to put that properly in the bottom there for you. And it's €19. I thought it included dinner, but it didn't. It included breakfast, so I've now wasted more money, because I don't think I'll make that breakfast in the morning. But I have purchased an additional dinner. Hopefully it'll be quite nice. All the dinners do come with 3 courses and wine and waters, etc. But yeah, so what we do now, this is it. And where we're going from now is the fact that tomorrow, the 3rd day of the Camino, we're heading from Zubiri to Pamplona. And I'm sure you've all heard of Pamplona, famous for the bull running, and it's approximately 22 kilometers again. So let me see. For now, obviously the weather is extremely hot, as I said, 35 degrees, sitting here around about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it is unbelievably hot. So for now, thanks again for watching. I will keep you updated, and look out for the next one coming tomorrow. Thank you very much. Bye bye.